Yep, good. Good. Okay, we're already on. Okay. Welcome to the meeting of the Community Environmental Committee, which has been held here at the Newton Pavilion on Tuesday, June 9th, 2026. I am Councillor Terry Stevens, I will chair this meeting. Before we start, there are some housekeeping points to note. We are not expecting any fire drills, and if fire alarm sounds, please leave as quickly as possible. Fire exits are the fire assembly points in the car park at the front of the building, and the toilets is the foyer. So please continue your phones off or put them silent. We want everyone to be able to hear, so please respect whoever is speaking. Also, you should be aware that we are and be streamed on our social media channels. I will now ask the members of the Council and the committee to introduce themselves, starting with Amy.
Aaron O'Rourke from Stratford.
Samantha Brown, the Lakes Estate.
Ethan Kelly Wilson, Mayor of Bletchley and Fenny Stratford, and here as a member of this committee.
Marie Weimar, Bletchley.
Those who know myself.
Craig Scott, Manor North and Ethan Lee.
Ismail Hussain, Manor South.
Richard Graham, Central Bletchley and Deputy Mayor.
And also, we have a very good time. The seniors. Okay, and Councillor Ray Blackman just joined us. And the officers.
I'm Louise Salmon, the Deputy Clerk.
Will Allen, the Environment and Landscape Manager.
Kate Radcliffe, Support Services Manager.
John Fairclough, Town Clerk.
Okay. Well, looking at our quorum, I think we've got a full house tonight, so there's no apologies for absence, which is fantastic. One. Arthelian.
Retract that.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Louise. So, agenda part, item number 2. Councillors' declarations of interest in any matters on the agenda, please. Take silence as no. Any other interest? Okay. So let's go on to item number 3, the approval of minutes of the last meeting, committee meeting. So we've got pages 3 to 6. I'll take it that they've been read in advance as part of the pack. And any comments when we approve these as a correct record of the meeting?
Agreed, Chair.
Thank you. We'll take that. Thank you. Okay, the next one is public speaking. So we've got Mohammed Khan here with us tonight, who's representing the MK Bletchley Association. So I think we'll probably just go straight on to community grant applications, which is pages 7 to 18 in your pack. So Mohammed, you've got 3 minutes, maximum 3 minutes. So the floor's yours, sir.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Mohammed Khan. I'm sure you got the grant application for our annual coach trips we've done for the last 7 years. So we're doing again, this time 3 coaches going to Portsmouth. Hope the weather is better. So we're expecting people from all Fenny Stratford area. Coach will be departed from the Manor Road, the middle of next to the Fenny Town Council. And it's open to anyone and everyone. The flyers are ready to go into the Facebook from tomorrow. And it's on our website as well. So anyone can book and come around, will be welcome. Including some of you guys, it will be nice to see how we do. It'll be good. We expect about 150 people, including children. But it'll be a nice day. And I know you guys support us previously before. Any questions, happy to answer. Thank you.
Thank you. This has been through the grants panel already. Which then it gets endorsed at this meeting. Are there any other questions? Any questions you've got for Mohammed?
Have you on your literature and your flyers and social media, have you got if you've got the grant, would you be able to put our logos and stuff like that on there to say that we've actually donated some money so that there's a little bit of continuity between the grant and the
proven. It's going to go into our website, working on social media, saying Fenny Town Council supported the project. Absolutely.
Yes. There's about putting our logo on there as well.
more than happy to do
That's all
that.
the officers to do that.
Okay. So the grant panel,
So I'm sorry,
yeah,
and also can we possibly have a follow-up after the event to see how it went, how many people actually turned up and how the day went, some pictures for social media and stuff like that.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, we'll make sure we get all the pictures, everything shows everywhere, social media and everywhere, including town council. Yes.
super, thank you very much. So at the grant panel, it was recommended that partial grant of £1,000 be awarded, with the panel noting that any future application should include evidence of alternative funding sources being explored. So I'm sort of putting this to the meeting. We're approving that panel, that award, or was there any other changes that anyone would like to make or propose? So I recommend, so I propose that we award £1,000 for the Bletchley Association's trip to Portsmouth. All those in favour? Those against? Those abstention? There you go.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Thank you very much. Thank you everyone for help. Thank you.
You're welcome. I think as well, look what's in photos.
Thank you very much. You sent a lot of nice pictures before splashing in the water. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Right, we'll go on to the community grant for Alpha Steps. So this one I'll go through. So unfortunately, I wasn't at the grants meeting panel. So request for £1,500 to deliver structured boxing training for children from underprivileged backgrounds by providing a safe and inclusive environment. We aim to promote physical and mental health and well-being, actively encourage the children to engage with others, have fun, build confidence and self-esteem, provide free non-contact boxing and fitness one-to-one sessions for domestic abuse survivors, and part of these sessions will provide information on sport and nutrition, and to build self-esteem, resilience and confidence. So when the panel met, it was deferred based on, I think there's some questions, some lack of documentation that we've requested some more feedback on. Is that still the case, or and so we just kind of defer it till this comes back to the grant panel? You have no updates or any information?
I think.
Can I say I've arranged a meeting with them for next week?
Okay, that's super. So we'll get deferred till we get the outcome on that. Okay. Thank you. Is there any questions before we move on? Super, thank you. Right, okay. Now we're on to yeah. So we're going towards the support. Item number 6 is pages 19 to 24 in your pack. So we've got a really good update in terms of the support service projects, including the wellbeing projects, canals, MK, youth engagement and volunteering. So I'll take it to Louise.
Hello. So the wellbeing projects update. Kate and I visited Bletchley Leisure Centre to discuss the free swimming sessions. In the report, you can see some of the discussion points. We will continue to liaise with Bletchley and Fenny's Bletchley Leisure Centre and West Bletchley in terms of monitoring and seeing the numbers and the data around who is attending the sessions. We had some discussions about some other ideas, but nothing that has come into fruition, but something we might bring back at a later date. There was a conversation around the barrier of those receiving universal credit and not being eligible for the free swimming. So that's something we're going to try and iron out again with West Bletchley. There has been a drop in numbers. We think that might be due to the fact that they offer swimming lessons for children after school. So there's a window each day where residents cannot access the free swimming sessions from us. So that's just really to note and just give an update. Patient participation.
You didn't need any decisions or discussions on that?
No. Patient participation group. So we met with the Red House Surgery to discuss their singing group and chair exercise sessions. The chair exercise sessions were previously funded through the NHS pathways, but that has now ended. I have gone back to them to ask for the space in Bletchley Parish and West Bletchley Parish to see which residents were attending which. But there is around 20 parish residents that attended each session each week. There's a sum there to fund the sessions if that was something that council wanted to do. However, yesterday Marie gave an update that the church actually already runs 2 sessions. So maybe the conversation will actually be to go back to Red House and suggest that maybe their referrals could go to those sessions, and then I can come back with a different update. Milton Keynes Canal proposals. So there's been an ongoing partnership with MK Canals for several years, actually. I think even when I was here in chapter 1, no, in chapter 2. And they met with us to discuss some of their projects or proposals over the next 3 years. These are 3 of the projects that could be quite short term for us to involve ourselves with. So the first one is a pocket garden clearance, which is located near to the canal within our parish. And they have requested assistance with clearing the space to show a used lock or gate in the area, and that would require resourcing rather than funding, and something that potentially Will can discuss with them around availability, and that if we can support them to clear that pocket garden. The next is landscaping next to Watling Street and install a welcome to Fenny Stratford Heritage Half Mile sign. Milton Keynes Canals already have funding in an earmark reserved with us that can be utilised for that project, and it fits in and it's in line with the amount that we've got in the earmark reserve. And then the final project is the community art project on Watling Street Bridge. So a proposal to create a mural on the bridge designed in collaboration with the local young residents. Town Council would lead on community engagement and participation, with the project funding being sought through a community grant or external grant funding, obviously subject to approval. And that does have a recommendation if you want me to do it in that. Does that suit Beth?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So obviously that's the third recommendation, which is explore funding opportunities to support the Canal Milton Keynes Youth Art project. And that, yeah.
So in terms of the first one, it's Will's capacity in his team, landscaping team, whether they've but I think it'd be a really good community focused project to get involved with. It'll give us some really good feedback. The welcome sign, again, I think, we proposed subject to capacity in prioritisation. There's things that prioritise it, but I think again it's a good thing. And I guess we're looking for any comments on the final one, on the community art project. So that's the Watling Street Bridge, which is over the canal. Okay, right.
Yes.
Any thoughts?
So to clarify, the pocket garden is just after the bridge on the opposite side of to the Red Lion. I think it sort of goes into the Millwood Drive estate a bit, and there's an old lock gate that is there. Is it that area there?
That sounds right, but I've got the what 3 words, but I don't know exactly.
So I think when we went on the walk with them, this was there's a real historic lock gate that's on the side of the canal, and it's just covered in like, yeah, I mean, I think it could be a really, it's obviously was taken from the lot and put there to be a piece that people can see, and it's not adding any value to the canal side at all. So I think it's great that we are involved in that. You said around community art project and whether, what funding is available. I think it would be great if we could get some money out of the Arts Council for that, rather than it being funded by ourselves directly. I think there is a National Lottery funded fund for community art projects.
Any other comments? So very proactive and
Good. Happy?
Yeah.
Want to next one?
Yeah.
Oh, no, you sure? Youth engagement update. So we discussed the youth council / forum idea last time. I've spoken to one of the principals at the local secondary school, and it's been decided that for the maximum effect, the project would be launched in September. Obviously, I imagine the students that would participate the most would probably be year 10s and 11s, and they're probably a little busy at the moment with GCSEs and mocks. In September, that also coincides with their school council elections, and hopefully the students that show an appetite for that would also show an appetite for this. That's a nice easy one. Summer youth. Oh yes.
Just a question on that. So with Leon, obviously it's outside of the parish. The youth council that we're looking at, is it a youth council for Bletchley and Fenny Stratford Town Council, or will it be something with West Bletchley? Or
Leon's in the parish, isn't it?
yeah. Oh, sorry.
Are you thinking Lord Grey?
I was thinking Lord Grey. Sorry.
Yeah. But we would probably approach those as well at a later date, because there will be some in the parish that are there. But it's just that initial captive audience of Leon.
It'd be good to have some thoughts on actually how it will stand up. Because personally, I think a smaller type group would be better. And rather than invite a council to come into meetings, which could be very dry and very hard for them to keep up with and understand, it'd be more sort of focused, where they could actually review proposals and projects and things like that, where they could say, you know what, yeah, that would support us.
Yeah.
What about some of the projects that we're doing, where we're engaging with youth in different areas of the parish? We want a cross-section of different youths on the council, not just from a school. We want a cross-section from different, possibly initiatives that are going on that we're supporting, where children are concerned, to tap into that, to get a broader, different perspective from different people within the community, other than just, we're just going to go to Liam School, because then you're going to get one sort of like perspective from a school user. What we need is possibly people out of school that are not just roaming the streets, but they're engaging with, like, probably swimming, or some of the other initiatives that we're funding, to go to them to say, do you want to join the youth council? Because what we need as a council is a broad perspective on the youth in our area, just to see what they're saying, see what they're doing, see how we can help and engage with them better. That's, So I do feel that if we do just go to just school, say for instance, which is a good thing.
Yes.
We're only going to get one perspective from a school perspective, but what we need to do is engage with people outside of the school.
Yeah.
But like I said, we're already funding certain projects, so we can actually tap into people within that project.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's more of an ambassadorial role, really, and more of an ambassadorial role, to represent the youth.
That's what we need.
It's a 5-year plan.
Yeah, it can start by project-based, can't it? So, for example, it could be a review of the summer youth activities that we're going to talk, or it could be the art project, and then those two, and then it can just organically lead into more involvement with wider topics, possibly. So, okay, good.
Sorry. Mentioned about Leon, and then something came up about Lord Grey, and then it was sort of like Lord Grey went off the wall then. So is Lord Grey included or not included?
So I've had discussions with Leon, mainly because of the captive audience element of it. It was not to be a let's stop there and just deal with those and liaise with those young people, but it just felt like a very obvious starting point, because the school is in catchment, and they already have engaged with us. They've already been quite open to the fact that they've been coincided with some of their curriculum stuff. Of course, for the wider community, we can also promote it through the youth summer activities, should they happen again next year. I think we're at a starting point possibly with youth engagement, and to build on that.
I think personally, I'd want to engage with the youth from our parish, Bletchley, Fenny, Stratford. When you start thinking about opening it up to the whole of Bletchley, including West Bletchley, then that's a different bag. And I think that we've got to start off, like you said, slowly, develop our own area, then engage with other people outside of the area if West Bletchley want to get involved. The same way that we're funding mental health services and we're using West Bletchley service to fund that. Obviously, when we start our youth engagement, if West Bletchley then want to join in with us, and they've got people in their patch that can join our youth camp, then we can broaden it out to a bigger, wider situation. Yeah, we'll get actually more engagement with the youth to start off with, and I feel that our council has always been talking about this situation. So if we can do ourselves to start off with and engage with our youth, then we can expand that later date.
Right. Yeah, well, Lord Grey might be positioned in West Bletchley, but there is a lot of students going to Lord Grey from this parish. And I wonder, are we excluding, and how many are we excluding from being part of that because their parents have chosen for them to go to Lord Grey?
We can have a conversation with them as well.
Things big football, not right?
Yeah.
5 of my nephews and nieces are all on there.
We can reach out. No, that's good. So summer youth activities. So I wrote this before half term and it's now after half term. The project has launched and it's actually been open, I think, 6 days. So the confirmed sessions are the Hungry Bunch, which are art sessions, Let's Kick It, which is multi-sports, House of Performing Arts, dance, musical, theatre for all age groups, Returning K, DJ and lyric writing skills, Film Club and the MK Play Association sessions. The sessions are intended for parish residents only. However, the recommendation on this is that some flexibility may be required should uptake for any particular reason be low. The sessions are paid for in advance and the numbers are agreed in advance. So members may wish to consider allowing places to be offered more widely where necessary to ensure that spaces are fully utilised and not wasted. This would be very short notice. We have, the booking form has gone live. We've already had 40% of the spaces booking. We had 840 spaces and in 6 days, I think that's pretty good going. So I don't foresee this actually being something of a challenge that we have lots of empty spaces we need to fill. However, if we're paying for the spaces and a resident accidentally books on from another parish, it's worth us having that waiting list to say nearer the time, we've got space and it hasn't been taken. Would you like to go to? So the recommendation is to approve officers of officers allowing out of parish residents to attend the youth sessions should there be short notice places to fill.
I think first of all, I think we should commend this summer programme. I think it's fantastic. I think there's been a lot of work carried out by the team, the officers to pull this together. We've never had something so broad and sort of wide ranging as this one. So I think it's really, really good. It's really positive.
I was going to say, it may be administratively difficult to operate, but should we have a small nominal charge for people who are out of parish? Because, this is being funded by taxes for people who live here. I obviously would really want it full, but I know, I think, even like, I've got a child, I put them in, and it ranges from 20 to 60 pounds a day.
Yes.
Actually, if somebody was going to one of those events and it was £2 or a £5, I actually think it would go some way to kind of recognising that they don't live here and we are putting our own residents first.
Just discuss that, what you would charge.
I'm just asking the officer team to investigate it. And for that, but I'm happy for them to make the decision on whether it would.
So, yeah, in principle, yeah, absolutely.
And then we'll look at the.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah, that's great. Thank you, Louise. That's really good. We put up six.
So do we need to approve some of the recommendations?
We've sort of noted the first one. The first two projects are around Will's team's capacity, really. Third one, around the art project, is explore other funding through the Arts Council. The last one is, I generally agree that, yeah, that's a good idea, but needs to get funding for out of parish.
Chair, if you can check item number 2 on the recommendation.
Yes.
The chair exercise do so.
Yesterday, so we're going to review what the church are doing.
Yeah,
Go back
fine,
to
yeah.
it, so that's fine. Do you need approval of the release of the earmark reserve for the?
Yeah, that's good to finance as well. The recommendation.
Yeah,
If you,
to approve the funding opportunities for the Canal MK youth car project. Those in favour? Those against? Those abstentions? All right, thank you, Louise. Okay, right. Item number 7. Yeah, okay, so we're on community event. No, we're not. We're on the environmental matter, which you will, apologies.
Thank you.
I'm flicking through pages here.
First section on your report then is about the allotment. So statistically, we've got a healthy waiting list at the moment. That's sort of bolstered in recent months. We've now got 50 new tenants waiting for plots. Since the last meeting, we've had 3 reallocations, so 3 plots come back to us and be reallocated. We've currently only got 1 vacant plot, so sitting at almost 100% occupancy. Landscape updates. The mowing team are currently on cut number 4 for the amenity grass, and they've performed 6 cuts at Leon Rec, Saffron Gardens, the orchard and the allotment. We've also done one cut on the meadow grass areas of Saffron Gardens. The wildflower areas within Leon Rec have been rotivated and seeded, and the planters on Chandos Place and Aylesbury Street have now been planted, and due to the recent hot spell, required lots of watering. We're in the process of replacing the smaller of the 3 vans. Had lots of problems with that van, and the finance committee resolved to trade it in and replace it with an electric vehicle. That is on order from Mercedes. It's a Mercedes Vito, and we should have that later on this week. It's an ex-display model, very low mileage, and like I say, electric. So we've had a electric charging point installed at the landscape depot, ready to go when we get that vehicle. Inquiries we've had. So we've had quite a number of inquiries in recent weeks, lots of which have been as a result of some difficulties we've had with the dog bins. So the dog bin contract, we changed contractor recently, and there've been a number of teething problems. Effectively, that contractor struggled with the rate of waste being produced, and also as a result of having picked up a couple of other contracts simultaneously to ours. They seem to have done everything necessary now to make sure that they're being emptied consistently, and the last 2 weeks have been problem-free. And hopefully that's the end of those issues. We did have lots of pictures on social media.
Yeah, that was very nice of it.
Lots of inquiries.
Mainly on dogs.
Next section on here.
My dog is new news.
Next section on here is about the Community Infrastructure Fund. So for the 2026-27 Community Infrastructure Fund, the toddler and young play equipment, which is going to be installed here at Newton's Pavilion alongside the pitches. So we've had lots of interest from suppliers for that. And in addition to that, we've found out from Milton Keynes City Council that there is £87,000 of S106 funding available for local play parks. So there is the potential, whilst they would need to be treated as two separate projects, because the Community Infrastructure Fund it's got set criteria, and we've got that funding on the basis of a very specific project. There is the opportunity to look at further play provision on this land or any other land locally. On receipt of the remaining quotes, I think this committee last time wanted a workshop, or I'm going to suggest a task and finish group to go through those quotations, sort of come up with a final decision on which of those we want to recommend, and also to discuss any potential use of this S106 pot, and whether we want to make an application to that. So I've been looking for volunteers to join that start and finish.
Yeah.
Task and finish group.
So the recommendation. So I've got just one question around the allotments, if that's okay. So let's start from the top of the question of the lot. So into Leeds, would they use the allotments on Waterhole Park, or is there any provision for them to possibly have an allotment site in the future? Into Leeds, yeah.
Yeah, there's no provision for an allotment site there. I don't think there's even space for an allotment site.
There wouldn't be space if they didn't complete it in phases, but now the bridge is in. They are in.
Okay. I just thought, we've got a allotment provision from the horizon.
And there is actually some S106 for allotment improvements on that side as well. Yeah. Which is as a result of the building work.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the question. Any questions on the allotments before we go on to the dog bin contract? Any questions on the dog bin contract? And we'll go on to the SIF. So we've got some volunteers first for the Christmas lights tender. So we need 2 councillors.
Not come on to that section, sorry. Recommendation for outdoors.
Yes, dog bin.
Sorry, so in this year's budget, we have provisions for additional dog bins.
We do. Yeah.
Can we have a chat around?
Of course we can. Yeah. I visited the site very recently, actually, because we've got 3 dog bins there so far, and there's sort of a section of the building work that's sort of close to being completed. Yeah. Sort of on the other side where there's an obvious place for the next bin. Yeah. But yeah, certainly.
Yes, perfect. Yeah.
Likewise, well, I would say I'd like to take on a little walk because I've tried to map where I think the bins should go.
Okay.
And I can't map it because it's I'm being called, sorry. I can't get a map from anywhere that maps where this path is. So I think it's just better if I meet you here. I can take you on a walk around where I think they should go.
Yeah, we can, perhaps plot it on what 3 words, what as we go.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sorry, Rob.
Yeah, so I'd be looking for a couple of volunteers to from this committee to form this group to discuss the play equipment once these quotations come in. Do I have any
volunteers for the play?
What time of the day are you looking at?
Well, it can be whatever suits councillors.
There's a lot of things going on. You just need to know whether it's a daytime thing or an evening thing.
Well, whatever suits councillors, I can come.
I don't mind being part of the committee if it's a daytime thing. Can't do.
It'll be a one-off thing, Richard. Yeah.
I'll do.
Yeah. Okay. So Ray, Ethan, Ishmael, and Richard.
Very
I'll make contact with you separately, and we'll arrange a time that suits everyone.
Thank you.
Still on community infrastructure funds, the fund for 27-28, the application is now open, and we need to get our application in by the 31st of August. You'll have seen in your pack, in your reports, the criteria around that community infrastructure fund. It's up to £20,000 towards a £40,000 infrastructure project. It's got all of the detail in the pack there, and applications are scored against solving a persistent problem, improving safety, benefiting the community, and adding value. I welcome any ideas from this committee, either tonight, or if you want to consider it and bring them to another meeting in the future.
I'd sort of Blue Lagoon, I don't know what it's MKCC though, isn't it? Where we have like a heritage and learning trail around there. It's all a lot more open now, and it's a lot more accessible. Something like that would be really good down there, and showing us the fauna and fauna.
It doesn't have to be on our land. It can very much be on Keen City Council land. So
it's still nice down there now, and have that sort of trail around there. Where it's also thinking about the divers have have a plane down there and a bus down there. Things they could find really interesting. How deep it is. They've got crayfish in there. Just
some sort of information in that area.
Yeah, it's heritage like learning trail. Lots of butterfly will be out there. Deer. Something that encourages families out to go out for a walk. Any other thoughts on?
Chair, Will, we had a request for, the SIDS, posts for SIDS.
We did, that was an idea.
Extra posts in different areas where they wanted to put the SIDS up, the speed indicators.
Yeah.
That came up, so if you want to.
Yeah.
That would only be a small portion, so you can apply for up to 3 projects, up to a maximum of £40,000 in total.
We match it, don't we? So we've got to be careful.
We just, so it's 20 and 20. Yeah.
Speak to Keith then.
Yeah, so we've got 3 locations that we can site the speed indicator devices currently, but there have been requests for other locations. Manor Road, for instance, and Drayton Road. So that could be another project that we would see.
Any way that we could use it on the Sycamore House project? I know it's underway, but I mean, any upgrades that we can.
If we can think of something specific that, the time is not great because this needs to be in by April, I suppose.
I was going to say, could we ask for half the funding for the room? Actually, for here, we did not get the funding for it, but I think we were the first on the list if people refused the money, and then we got the funding.
That's right.
So I think if we're going to put multiple bids in, that is something that is expensive and it's something that we want to do, and it's not funded at the moment. So I think it would be good to, if we're going to put multiple ones in, to put it in.
Yeah.
So that's solar for the roof.
Or anything to do with the Sycamore House project in general. If there's an art piece, for example, or something we can incorporate as part of that project and just adds a bit more value onto it. But yeah, like I said, that or solar.
Yeah. What do you need from us, Lord? Do you need individuals to come up with a?
I mean, if you've got a specific project that you want to propose today, then that's fabulous.
Yeah.
If not, we can liaise by email and it comes to finance committee perhaps.
So we've got 3 options there.
Yeah, I think so.
We could build up. And we'll be getting one of them. Okay, thank you.
We can put a report on full council in July, just based on what's been decided to. That works ready for August.
And then moving on to the Christmas lights then. So as you all know, the Christmas lighting tender is out currently. The period ends on the 12th of June, this Friday. So hoping for, met with numerous contractors, hoping for 6 submissions. And we need 2 councillors to score those alongside officers.
Can I recommend that that's carries on being me and Terry? As we did it last time.
Yeah.
It just helps us. Terry, if anyone doesn't have any objections, it's silence of the night.
Super.
Right. And then the next section on here is the EV chargers here at the Pavilion. So we've seen an increase in usage for the quarter. We had 222 charging sessions in the last quarter. Unfortunately, though, on the 23rd of May, the charging cables from the rapid charger were stolen. Sort of a bit of a midnight dash, well, a 6 a.m. dash on a motorbike. They were sawn off. We captured that all on CCTV, but unfortunately, they were wearing a helmet and there was no number plate. But obviously, it was passed on to the police, reported to the police, and they're due to be replaced this week. So they should be back in operation by the end of this week.
Seen the email from this afternoon from Lucy?
I haven't been on a call.
Okay, so there's a bit of an update.
Oh, right.
They are going to put a cable guard in, and it's the first charger that they've used cable guard for, and so they don't have the cable guard in stock. So it's going to be delayed, right? Because they want to do it, or they don't want to install it until it does. So basically, the cable guard makes it really difficult for it to saw through. They also have like DNA type properties in the so you can actually tell this was stolen from Newton Needs Pavilion, and also it has GPS inside it, so it makes it like more difficult to steal the cable and to saw through the cable to kind of get. So
that's great.
Which I'm really pleased that they've agreed to actually do.
Because it would be horrible if it happened again.
Yeah.
No.
You kind of want to get a man tapping for
I mean, it does really show this report how much the rapid charger is used in comparison to the other two. And of course, with the rapid chargers, they do have the fixed but tethered charging.
Good, that's all from me.
Thank you very much, Will. Any other questions for Will? Super, thank you. So let's move on to item number 8. This is the Town Council Brand Update Report. So over to Louise.
Yeah, so this is following on from the report that went to the last full council about the refresh of the brand and logo. Officers have spoken with 3 different contractors who can potentially provide this service, and all but report we've also got the quotations from the 3 contractors. Just a little bit of background for those who may have not been at full council. The branding has been around for, we think, over 20 years.
I think it's actually from 1997.
Oh, wow, so nearly 30 years. When the Spice Girls were here. Whilst it remains familiar and recognisable to residents, there's a growing view that the brand is no longer fully reflecting the council's modern role, ambitions or visibility. The council has expanded its services and its public profile, and so it would be beneficial for the branding to do the same. There's also concerns around accessibility and usability. The logo can be difficult to reproduce clearly at small sizes. The colours aren't particularly accessible, and it's very difficult to use on social media with various different backgrounds. The objectives of the project are to create a clear and consistent brand usage across all platforms, develop a logo that is suitable for social media and digital use, ensure branding is accessible across all formats, create an updated and robust brand guideline, and modernise the existing logo whilst retaining civic identity and recognition. That was possible. So, first contractor is contractor A, which is in your pack. This is restricted, is it not on the, does it need to come off the?
It's not, it should be restricted in your package that you put it
It is
restricted.
restricted on the screen.
It will share on the screen if you put it on the screen. Is that what you mean?
So can I, yeah, so
Discussion
can the
tomorrow.
public listen to the discussion?
Yeah, the discussion is fine, as long as you're not mentioning names or who is.
Fine.
Yeah, yeah, as long as you're mentioning names.
So, that's difficult because I don't know which ones, which, are you looking at any of the quotes?
Can't see the C
I
on
can't
one.
find it. I can't find it in the pack.
No,
It's not in mine.
Ah,
Because I wondered, I started talking. Yeah.
to be honest,
Here we go.
yeah, so I've got that bit, but I actually shared attachments with the, right, that's fine. Okay, oh, yeah, yeah, that's one. Is that the first one? Fine, okay, now I know the order, that's fine.
There's a document, Lou, and I'll send it around to people here now.
It's when I click on that.
Yeah.
That's it, that is like
yeah.
the third one.
Yeah, we had a bit of trouble with this. My ModGov skills aren't fantastic. So that's fine. So, okay, this might be a little confusing, but actually,
Where's the document, Lou? Where's it saved?
they're saved in the file for the
I'll send it to people here.
committee. Let me just rename them because then we'll know which one's which. Yeah. Can you see them renamed? Do you want me to send them to everyone? I'm here.
Yeah, I'm on it now, I've got it here.
Okay.
to recommend.
So contractor A. Contractor A, design agency created the Get Around OK concept for local King's Council and included the redesign of the Bletchley bus station. You should be able to see their quote. I was really happy with this quote. They were really enthusiastic about the project. And obviously I've worked with the council because they understand the accessibility and the limitations and how to get creative within that space. Contractor, I'm having a little nightmare, sorry. Contractor B, Will on what Jonathan Brown say C, sorry. They created the groundbreaking Bletchley and Fenny Stratford branding. Again, worked with the council and the King's Council and understood the area. And they've worked with the Town Deal Group. Again, understanding the accessibility. And contract C was recommended through our IT contractor, and they came up with a pretty standard package relatively quickly. It didn't feel especially specialised to us and to this project. In terms of recommendations, that it's to consider a budget of up to 6,500 during the budget setting process for 27-28 to fund the branding project. Obviously, the caveat to that is that the project wouldn't be able to start until April next year, as currently there isn't budget for it unless there are allowances or other ways that you wanted to process that. And the other recommendation is to proceed with the chosen contractor. In terms of, would you like my personal opinion, or would you like to have a look through the quotes? Were they able to see the quotes before? Were you able to see the quotes beforehand? Fine. Yes. Questions?
I would like to go with the officer recommendation. I also think we've got an underspend this year, and I think we should spend it now. I'm saying this because we are likely to want totem signage at Sycamore Hall, and if we are minded to look at the brand, we should get the brand resolved before we do it, before we put that signage in, because otherwise we're going to replace signage at some point. So I actually think the time is to do it now, and we've got underspend to actually do that.
We spoke about having flags as well, so we need to get it resolved before we waste a whole lot of money on branding.
So both of the more in-depth quotes have a similar process. So if you're happy for me to, I'm quite comfortable with either of those. I can go back and speak to both of those in a little bit more depth, and then make a decision from there.
I thought that you made an actual recommendation.
Oh, for the first one, sorry, yes, I have.
Yeah.
This report needs to end. I have not as well.
I think we're very comfortable.
I thought that you made.
Oh, fine, good.
I thought you made the recommendation to go with what is in this one. Contractor A did get around MK.
Yes.
So my proposal would be that we go with contractor A, and that we take the amount from this year's underspend, so that we can get on with this project straight away.
I second.
All those in agreement with that one? Okay.
Sorry, everyone. I don't know what when you start just going downhill and then the speed is just increasing.
You don't know providing us, recommendation.
It's the summer session, so take it out.
Don't worry, that's good. No, that's fine. Great, thank you. Thank you very much for that. Let's move on to the next agenda item, which is a community events update from Davina. This is pages 29 and 30 in your packs.
Hello.
Hello.
I thought I'd put my camera on so you get to see me this time. You don't normally get to see me. Cool. So hi everyone. Events update. I'm just here to talk about our suggestion for Fenny Stratford next year. So we've done some research based on kind of what you guys have asked for over the last few meetings. We've spoken to some of the local businesses and some of the residents, and also looking at the engagement that we get on social media when because obviously as a town council we try and post for the major kind of milestones, cultural milestones that for our residents in the area, and the St George's post always gets really great engagement and interaction, comments and things like that. So we are proposing a St George's Day Spring Fair to be held in Fenny Stratford, taking on a similar scheme that we do for Big Street Eat. So we'll do a road closure, have a fully funded one-day festival that'll run from 12 till 5. So it's kind of taking what Fenny has lost with poppers, and turning it into something that's really celebratory for the area, a cultural celebration, a spring celebration, and just really make it inclusive and fun, really, essentially. So I'm going to share some images and stuff. I'm going to share my screen, actually. Give me 1 second. Hopefully I'm going to do that. There we go. There we go. Can you see that? Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, excellent. Cool. Thank you. Cool. So yeah, so St George's Day Spring Fair. So St George's Day obviously falls on the same date each year, and in 27 it falls on a Friday, so this would be a really nice kickoff as well because it happens on the next day to St George's Day, so it's kind of really linked in. The reason it's called a St George's Day Spring Fair is because it gives us scope to, if we ever need to incorporate Easter bits into it or make it wider in any way. So it's all the, you know, although it is a St George's Day celebration, it's kind of just called a spring fair, so it's a bit more inclusive as well, so everybody feels welcome. So standard 12 till 5 hours. Obviously it's April, so we've got to be mindful of the weather, but if we plan it well in advance, and with the road closure and stuff, we can just make sure we've got enough gazebos and stuff to provide ample cover for the day. So location wise, we're looking at the Fenny Poppers kind of area, so from the petrol station, which is on the bottom of the screen, to the roundabout near St Martin's, near the church. So closing that entire that image is the other way around, so petrol stations at the top and churches at the bottom. So working with that, and really working closely with the businesses. You know, like I said, we've been out and spoken to them already, and everyone's already very excited. And we could do some run-up stuff like, you know, best restaurant dish or favourite coffee or those sorts of things to incorporate the businesses throughout the day, and they can have special offers and stuff. So here's some suggestions of the types of things you might be able to experience at a spring fair. Work with the local cadets to maybe get a mini parade going. We've got a great contact with a medieval reenactment, horrible histories type reenactment, so they can put some tents up and have some sword fighting and stuff. Have a mini stage with some local live acts. Do things like egg and spoon race, get Morris dancers, biscuit dunking competition. I'm very excited about a biscuit dunking competition. Punch and Judy show. You know, there's lots of activations we can do in the run up as well, and get residents to decorate St George's buntings that we can make sure we put up throughout the day, and incorporate the usual bits and pieces like face painting and henna, and then being selective with some stalls and craft and stuff to support the businesses in the area, but not obviously duplicate what is already there, because it is, you know, it's a really busy, vibrant high street. So here's some images of what you might find at St George's Day. Oh, and hobby horsing. I know Louise is probably waiting for me to talk about this. So I don't know if any of you have seen, but the horses on the stick, the like kids thing, there's a whole thing at the moment where everybody's doing hobby horse racing. So it's a bit like an egg and spoon, but you've got a horse on a stick between your legs. But it's good fun. So we could do stuff like that. So yeah, so that's what we're proposing as recommendations, or what I need from you guys, please, is this two-part really. So number one, to approve or discuss the event if that's something that you want us to go ahead, and then number two is talking about budget, because obviously in this year we have the 6,300 allocated for a Fenny event, but this would fall, because it's in April 27, this would fall in next financial year. So we've got a bit of a hybrid weird crossover, because it's a St George's event. It's super busy, and you kind of have to book a lot of these things in advance before they get taken. So the medieval stuff and the Punch and Judy and things will just become unavailable if we leave it too late to book. So using part of the 6.3 for securing deposits, etc., to secure the act for next financial year. So we've got two suggestions on budget. Hang on, where's my page? There we go. So we could put an event together that overall will come in at 16,000. So that it's a larger scale event. So it's kind of an in-between pumpkin and Christmas scale, if you're talking about kind of how busy it's going to be and how much stuff is going to be going on. So 16k, and that includes all the live acts and the medieval and some fairground rides as well. So those are the kind of main differences. And then we could, because it's the first event and looking at the fact that we have 6,300, we could have a slight overspend on that if we go for a medium-sized event. So stuff like the infrastructure is not going to change, but if we go for a medium-sized event where we reduce the budget, you're going to be missing out on stuff like the rides and soft play, some of the decor elements. We wouldn't be able to potentially have live bands unless we can get free ones, so it would be securing a DJ, and then if we get anything else, that would be an almost nice to do. So it just, the budget really obviously affects the scale of the event. So from the committee, I'd like to just have approval of the event, or if you want to give it a go, and then really to recommend what scale of event you want, and then we need to do a report for finance committee to approve the overspend, because obviously we've only got 6.3 in the budget line. Did I miss anything, Louise?
Any thoughts?
Thank you, Davina. I think that, you know, we've done very well there, and I'm quite happy to sort of support St George's Day, because nobody really celebrates St George's Day in our area. Most
Locally. Yeah.
It's always St Patrick's Day that everyone goes out for. I'd like to see, rather than a smaller event, a larger event, considering we're taking over from Fenny Poppers, but we're doing something ourselves as a town council. I'd rather see us do something at the 16 grand mark, if that's what it comes in at, and have something sustainable that we can move forward with into the future, that we actually stamp our mark on it now as a brand new event, not to say it's Fenny Poppers, but it's now St George's Day. Do you know what I mean? So I'm quite happy to move forward with a better style of event, no matter which guise it comes in.
I think we probably need to speak to Keith as well. Ethan.
So I would also support having a big event. I think it was at this committee's last meeting that we said there's also Milton Keynes' 60th birthday next year, and there's likely to be funding for a range of events that celebrate the kind of that Milton Keynes is 60. I think it is a really good option to kind of take something historic that kind of happens every year and to do something in Fenny Stratford. I know the restaurants that I go to in Fenny Stratford are really feeling it and would really welcome an event like this coming back, because events bring people into the town, and whilst they're here, they go, oh, didn't know that there was a Thai restaurant here, or didn't know that there was a Bangladeshi restaurant here, and so that's what keeps them coming back. So I think it's really important we do it.
I also agree. Our name is Bletchley and Fenny Stratford Town Council, so I think having a good presence and a good event in Fenny Stratford is very important.
Any other thoughts?
Yeah, I'll support it.
So,
Do we support it and we get external funding, though, because do not think it was overspending a lot of money?
Can I comment on that? Is that all right, Marie? So we spoke to Ali B, just kind of to get a general sense of what could happen, what might happen, because obviously the event itself is in 27, so it's in the next financial year. So actually the spend of the 16k would be in next financial year. So it's what we're kind of discussing today is almost, can we use part of the 6.3 to secure acts by paying their deposits in this financial year, so that we know that we've got them secured. And then what we still would have to do is take the overall spend budget line to October's like budget setting and stuff and get approval through full council, etc. But what you've got to kind of consider is that at this point, if we're committing to a larger event and then that increased budget line doesn't get approved, there's a risk of an overspend. But do we think, are we comfortable taking that risk, knowing that it probably will get approved, or do we kind of go with the lower event to know that actually if we do overspend, it'll only be a smaller amount rather than a larger amount? So that's kind of the point here. And then depending on what you want to recommend, we'd then take that to finance for them to approve to go ahead.
You said it'd only be a overspend.
Sorry, say again.
It'd only be really a £4 overspend.
If we go for the medium event, so we've got a 6.3 in there at the moment, so the medium event is 8.5, so it would be a couple of grand overspend. But if we went for the 16, then it's 10k.
Yeah, it would be the 12.6 from this year.
Oh, okay.
How much was the spend for Fenny Poppers anyway? What did we spend on that? It's reasonable sum, wasn't it?
It's about 30. So overall it's about 13. When the last event was about £13,000. Probably went slightly over, so more nearer 14 overall
That's what we.
And that was on a budget. So that was kind of,
Yeah.
you know, they were kind of scrimping to get stuff in. We contribute half of that. We did 6,500 as a grant.
I mean, I'm happy to support it, but I do think we need to get advice from Keith in the finance things. It's not going to keep going over and over.
Well, yeah.
It's like,
It'll go as a recommendation to finance.
yeah.
I think what the room is wanting is for us to sort of like say, can we use the 6,300 right now for her to secure certain things? And that's now, and then talk about it afterwards.
Yeah.
But it's to secure them bits and pieces in Davina that you need to secure.
Yeah, there's you know, things like fairground rides and stuff we can book nearer to the time, but stuff like medieval and Morris dancers, you know, those real typical St George's Day stuff, you need to book a year in advance.
I was just going to say, I think it's not having an event. Is this year be the third year or second year?
Second.
And I just kind of feel that the point that you made, that we do cover Fenny Stratford, we need to be doing something there. And I just think that it's the town council's role to make things brighter and better and more wonderful. And I would like people to say, like, you know, I don't want to put it down on any other event, but I would like people to go, wow, you know. And so I think we should make the investment. But I also hear your point. I know that there is, hopefully, like Milton Keynes City Council did talk about funding a range of events through the years. There may be money for 60 money that we could go for, and also the more artistic things that we have on an event, the more likely we can get national lottery funding as well. So I think it would be, or heritage or anything like that.
I just don't want to do a real great, fantastic event and then next year we say we ain't got enough money to do it.
No, I understand.
So I just want to make sure we've got enough money to be able to repeat it.
Yeah, no, I understand. I think also, surrounding the conversation about funding and stuff like that, we've got to, as a town council, start to look at different businesses sponsoring some of our events. We've got plenty of big businesses in our locations, about engaging with some of the big businesses as well, and trying to get sponsorship from some of them.
And we have, you know, given that
some of the local shops and restaurants might want to sponsor it. So
yeah, given that this is April next year, there's time to be able to engage with them as well.
That's exactly right.
I think what we're saying is we've got the money for this year where you could go and book those acts, those activities which get booked quickly. I know there's lots to go on around here. And then the second would be to speak to Keith. We need to see that in terms of budget provision for next year. Or, you know, I don't think we can't really take risks. We have to make sure that we want a good event, but we want to make sure that we have got funding there available as well.
Yeah.
So it needs to go to the finance committee, won't it?
Yeah.
We can't, and we haven't got authority to do that in the budget we haven't got currently. So
it's fine.
If that goes on the agenda for the finance, that would be my proposal.
So we're going to recommend her to use the money to book
some artists,
book the relevant artists.
Yeah.
Sorry, is that proposal subject to finance agreement on 23rd? Because what we don't want to do is if finance say no.
But we can still do a smaller event, even.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Great.
So it's subject to finance approval on how much we've got, but I think I propose that we provide that 6,900, isn't it? To book those artists, all those. All that.
Exactly.
And against. There you go, Davina. Thank you very much.
Thanks, team.
Hard work as always.
Appreciate it. See you later. Bye.
Bye. Okay, planning applications. Okay, we've got 2 planning applications on the report tonight. So the first one is PLN /2026/1012. This is 46 to 52 Duncan Street, MK2 to LY. The erection of an outbuilding in the rear garden and use ancillary to the mosque as a mortuary. The demolition of the existing rear extensions and the outbuildings. The erection of a single-storey rear extension, first floor rear extension, and a rear external staircase to provide access to the first floor, and internal alterations to enlarge the prayer hall. Change of use of the existing residential dwelling class C3 at 46 to be integrated into the mosque class F1 at 46 to 52 Dutchman Street.
Sorry, what item number was that?
This is item
We
number
go on
10.
to something else.
If you go in the agenda at the front page, it's got the link to the planning application on the agenda page. It'll open the details up for you.
So, any thoughts on this one? I've looked at the plan statement. I've looked at any comments. Highways do not object, but highlight significant weaknesses in the transport statement. Increases and the additional people. Claim that only 1 in 3 arrive by cars unsupported. Car share assumptions are unevidenced. Network Rail have objected because the proposed outbuilding appears less than 3 metres from the railway boundary, and the risk of foundation encroachment, destabilisation of the railway earthworks, and oversailing of scaffolding cranes. East West Rail have no opposition, no objection to it, and any thoughts?
Just think, always done Duncan Street is parking issues. It's just becoming a nightmare. I mean, you know, just travelling backwards and forwards up Duncan Street right now, it's just big lot. And there's park constantly on the right hand side going down Duncan Street. So one-way traffic up and one-way traffic down. That's it. It's not like there's flowing traffic. You're constantly stuck up Duncan Street 24/7. I've got no issues about planning.
It's the parking.
But it's the parking and I don't know about the use of it, the rear in the mortuary. I'm not sure. I'm not too sure. I'm not sure at all. I'm really about parking.
I think from my perspective, the MK Jami Masjid has been serving the community since 1977, which I think is it has been a sort of key cornerstone, especially that area of Bletchley and Fenny Stratford, in terms of generations have had their birth steps, weddings, the lot there basically, you know. I don't think there's been no objections to the change of use for the mortuary. I think that might actually help serve the community even better, because I mean, you know, it's a bit morbid to think about it, and you know, I wouldn't want a mortuary next to my house, but the people on Duncan Street haven't objected to that specific change of use. Obviously, there is an increase in the capacity of the prayer hall, and obviously MKCC, the highways haven't objected to the planning consent, but they've put a condition of the submission of a travel plan. And I think that's actually a really good thing, because with a travel plan, they have to have a strategy in terms of how they're going to manage the increase in people coming to the mosque because of its additional capacity, including annual reviews as well. So it's not just that they say they're going to do something, it's going to be reviewed and changed over. So it's an active measure for them to actually start, or an additional way for them to actually control the parking situation and the traffic situation there. I mean, in terms of the encroachment onto Network Rail's site, I mean, again, it's if Network Rail object on that aspect, I mean, I don't really, from having a look at the plans, they could always go back and redesign it.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, if my proposal would be to, in principle, support this application, obviously subject to the travel plan as per what highways have requested, and as per Network Rail's recommendation for the 3 metre boundary encroachment to be actions, essentially, something along those lines.
Yeah, the only issue I would have is about parking. And that's the same problem everywhere. People make a positive decision not to park correctly. There is a car park there in National Park, NCP Road, which is 35 pence an hour. Right? And people need to park in there, and maybe the mosque need to play their part in that, ensuring that people are parking in the NCP, which has sufficient capacity.
Would that be part of the travel plan?
Yeah, so I mean, I've been to that mosque a couple of times, but I go to a few other, get a coffee if there's parking, it's a bit easier. That's just something up the road from me, you know. So, yeah, they got a better parking sort of strategy, but as part of the travel plan, they've got to commit to certain things. Now, I mean, I've seen people in yellow jackets there at peak times, but in terms of managing the traffic in peak times, obviously in terms of education for people attending, telling them car share more or walk rather than drive 5 minutes up the road sort of thing. You know, so I mean, I think the key thing with a travel plan, it's more than just a document. It is something which is reviewed as well.
Is it enforceable?
I'm not a planning expert, in all honesty, you know, but I mean, it's
like you can put a plan out, whether or not you follow it, it's up to you, isn't it? So there's no one saying, we're not meeting that plan, so you're renegading against that plan.
I mean, I'd assume because reviews are a key part of travel plans, then there would be some form of review.
Feedback from problems and stuff that.
And plus, highways have to approve that travel plan as well. So if they get that travel plan and they go, right, we still don't feel it, you know, supports, you know, a positive impact on the road network, and they still reject it. I think the key thing is that they think that the capacity within the NCP car park can cater for the additional 20 additional vehicles that they predict. And there's no objection to planning consent, obviously, with the condition of submission of a travel plan.
Yeah. So
I mean, sorry. I mean, I know that in the cold light day, they say there may be 20 extra cars. There could be 30 extra cars. There could be 50 extra cars. We just don't know. And
everyone decides to drive that day.
And nobody knows. What we have got in real time is if it does get gridlocked, there's a problem for just general use. Or, you know, buses going down. I've seen buses get stuck, can't see around the corner, and they're stuck there for 10, 15 minutes, even in the evening time. You know, I've come back from council meetings and I've come up that road, and it's just gridlocked there. For whatever reason, it's just gridlocked. And cars can't come up, can't go down. Buses are stuck around the corner, can't see around the corner. There is an issue down Duncan Street, and I'm just, anything more that impacts the usage down there. I'm not saying don't, you know, approve the application or whatever. We've got to consider in the cold light day, there is a serious problem down there in traffic usage.
So I think I'm proposing it's conditional, support conditionally based on the sign off from Network Rail and the signed off travel plan from highways. I think that's right.
One more is that it's fine now looking at what it is now and what it might be when the extension is done. We also have to consider the demolition of Brunel Centre and how the traffic is going to flow through there, because those vehicles coming down there will be coming down Duncan Street and going back up Duncan Street for the demolition of Brunel Centre, and that is going to be a massive impact, especially when the town deal reallocation of how the traffic is being laid out. It shouldn't prevent the planning permission, but it does need conditions put in place to say you can't do it in the way it's going. It's going to be a major issue.
Yeah, just on that point, I mean, I think the demolition of the Brunel Centre, I mean, it is temporary, and I mean, it's something which, I mean, it shouldn't have a long-term effect on this specific planning application, because that's a temporary item, essentially. That can be managed at the time. I mean, especially the community around Duncan Street is growing. You know, the masjid has served the community for 50 odd years, basically. You know, and it continues to serve the community, and you know, there's additional requirements for. I mean, I personally thought, oh well, the first thing they're going to kick off about is that there's going to be a mortuary there. It seems like nobody, well, it seems like people are actually supporting it, which is why they've actually put the application in for that. And whilst they do that, they're having an expansion to increase the, I think it's like 94 people, so 94 spaces essentially in terms of people who can attend the mosque. But yeah, I mean, I think that is there because there's a need for it essentially for the community.
And you answered the question around the consultation with residents. And that was one of my questions about, have the residents been consulted that this is going to happen? And but if that's been done, then I'm comfortable with that. So I'm going to go back to the conditional support.
Yeah, I mean, I propose that we support the application in principle, subject to approval of a travel ban from highways and from and also conditional on Network Rail's requirements for the you know, at least 3 metres away from their boundary line being met.
Have you got a second for that one? All those in favour? Those against? Abstention? Thank you. The next one is premises licence. So this is a new adult gaming centre. We agree members to review and comments. So this one, notes. So this is the proposed premises is located in an area which is already experiences elevated levels of crime and social behaviour. This is in the old Lloyd's Bank.
Yeah, Lloyd's Bank.
So this is different to the last proposal we had for the old Barclays Bank. So whoever's put this in is now going to go for the Lloyd's Bank building. And personally, I think we've got the same.
All your chips and same grounds. Same grounds as last.
Chair, I put the page 35 is the response we put in for the last application, and the mayor's going to be going to the hearing for that one in July the 13th. So it's similar application. So for East, if you want to do a similar response.
Yeah.
So do that.
So I propose that we, based on the same reasons as the previous application. All those in favour?
I think we've got to need a resolution for somebody to appear at the licensing hearing.
To make representation, we can put in the response.
Do that?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No problem.
I'll come along as well. Yeah.
All those in favour of opposing this plan application? Anyone against? Licence. Any against? Thank you very much. Okay. Agenda item number 11, we're getting there. This is the work plan. I think we've got these on your. That's not back, sorry. Different. Do you want to talk to that?
Yeah, very short. Same as last time, I've added in the neighbourhood plan, which we'll get an update on today. And I don't think I've added in anything else really. So it's just if there's any other comments or any, changes to June. Neighbourhood plan addition of the Newton Lees plumbing usage. So in October, we'll bring a report on potential usage of the pitches for not football. So maybe events, dog shows. Much to Will's different. And then the youth forum update to be moved was moved to December, just so everyone's based on what we discussed earlier. We're reigniting the project in September. So that's good.
I think it's really good. Use the forward look as well. Any comments on that? FYI, sort of
yes.
Thank you. We'll go on to item 12. So this is the East West Rail consultation response. Yeah, so East West Road consultation response submitted today.
It hasn't been submitted yet.
It's been hasn't.
So this is I sent an email in May.
Yeah.
It closes tonight.
Yeah.
Collated everyone's feedback that originally gave feedback via email.
Yep.
So I put something together. So I've literally got to put it into the portal.
Right.
After if you approve.
Yep.
I have collated everyone that responded with their feedback and put together a response for the objection. This specifically focuses on the level crossing. Because as you know, the consultation is closed. They're proposing to close the level crossing. It's in Fenny Stratford now, whereas before it was going to potentially remain open. So this is kind of everyone's feedback collated. If you want to add anything, let me know, because I literally have to do it before midnight tonight.
Okay,
I think we've probably had ample opportunity to the feedback. Do you want me to read the statement now, or?
Yeah, well, it's been in the pack, so everyone should have read it, I guess.
We'll take it as read and as per.
Yeah.
Okay, do
You're happy for me to submit, yeah?
Yep. Yep. And then.
I'll do that.
Is the neighbourhood plan? I'll hand you over to the hands of Ish.
So, I mean, in the packs, there's the updated pre-submission draft plan. So there were a few, I mean, this was approved by full council. However, there were a few changes which our planning consultant asked us to make, just in line with a few updates to the National Planning Policy Framework and the MK City Plan 2050 as well. In terms of a couple of other changes, Newton Lees and Eton Lees policies have been expanded, so there's a bit more supporting text. As the heritage policy has been revised, the green infrastructure policy has been simplified and reframed around the National Decision Making Policy M2. Local green space policy has been rewritten, walking and cycling policy simplified and reframed. There's a few minor corrections and clarifications. But I mean, the majority of the actual plan is essentially the same as the one that was previously approved by full council. So there is also tabled a consultation calendar sort of timeline. Essentially, once this has been approved by full council, we'll enter the Regulation 14 public consultation stage for the neighbourhood plan, where we will notify the statutory people that we've got to notify. Statutory consultees, that's all right. And obviously commence with the engagement and collecting and gathering feedback on the plan in its current form. So we would urge members of this committee and other councillors to support the consultation timeline. If possible, if you can attend one of the events or two of the events to support putting the plan through, that'd be really appreciated. But yeah, we're asking for just to approve the updated neighbourhood plan and approve us to go for the Regulation 14 public consultations.
You have to approve it full council.
No. So it's been delegated. At last full council, they delegated the approval to this committee or finance. We had the choice, so we just want approval of the policies that have been updated.
The choice was involved in the neighbourhood plan as well. So I propose that we accept the documenting policies and then start on the consultation.
Second.
Are those in favour? It's true. Thanks, Ish.
Chair, can we congratulate Ishmael for all the hard work he's done to get us this far. And
you get the drum beat going.
And thank you to all of the parents that have been involved in some way as well.
Very much appreciated. Thank the councillor, the officer teams, and Richard.
On this timeline, where are we up to now? Because we're on tonight. So where are we on this document? Where are we? So I mean, the soft launch that's supposed to be happening on the 15th. Is that getting put back? What time is that going to be at?
So did have a brief conversation with John about where we're at. I know that there's a bit of printing and lamination to complete.
Yeah, we've got some work to do this week, just on materials, which we're going to complete this week. So the aim is to carry on as it is for next week.
Do you know what time?
Possibly put in that first put the soft launch to the Tuesday. Possibly.
Yeah, we might need a bit more time then.
So we just need clarification on that and what time that's going to start.
I mean, essentially, there's an event sort of every day, pretty much, bar the odd day here and there. So if you can attend.
Oh, we've got the names for the events somewhere now.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Very good.
I was going to say, there's nothing on this listing happening in Newton Leeds, so you probably need to create it.
Okay.
Yeah, we can add it in. We did. I think we did something. We put it in because I think we did something new in these last time.
I'm sure there was something at Newton Leeds Pavilion.
It needs to be something because last time we did something, no one came. So we just need to.
That's a summer fair.
Yeah, the Newton Leeds Primary School summer fair. Is that part of the page?
It's kind of, yeah, it was a big page, so it's like.
There's more action locations than there are dates and days.
Well, I think we can still do one at Newton Leeds, here at the pavilion or somewhere else.
Let's need to do it.
Yeah.
So, Ethan, we have been speaking about doing that over, the Costa. We can't do it at Asda, they won't let us. We've done it at Costa, they won't let us do it. Kate went up and asked, and they said no. However, last time we did it, I think Richard will come work, we did it at Costa, and they were fine, so we put a table up and we spoke to people up for that. That's probably, that's actually, we don't do it.
Oh, yes, I can't believe they said no.
Yeah, they're a bit, yeah. I think remember last time they said no as well.
No, that's all good. That's all good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so we go on to agenda item 14. So page 69 to 74, the financial management report showing expenditure against budget for the year to date on community environment matters the year 2nd June 26. Who's got any perceptions that need to be called out?
Yeah, only a couple that are probably quite obvious. So there's a 0% spend on the senior youth club. That's obviously because we haven't been invoiced yet. It's not that we haven't been continuing with it. There was something that I highlighted yesterday when I met with Terry and Marie. But actually, I've spoken to Andy about it. It was an underspend last year that's been carried on to this year. So that's fine. The budget for the big city is on track. The free swims is only at 4.4%, but again, that's probably half invoicing issue and half that we are seeing less free swims. And that's it really, unless anyone else has anything that they want to ask about. I'm still getting to grips with the budget line.
Any comments on any of the members?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, I'd like to thank Louise for talking tonight. In fact, for Sonia and these discussions. So we'll close the meeting at 21:03.